A high school junior is here at UK Hospital after a crash in Bath County. His family says they need all the prayers they can get.
State Auditor Adam Edlin says a crisis of resources means thousands of rape kits are going untested. Now he's pushing for change.
The new section of Citation Boulevard is now open.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5.
Good afternoon. It's a really difficult situation. People from several communities have been rallying around a teenager who is critically injured following a crash.
Family members tell us that 16-year-old Aaron Williams was on his way to the homecoming dance in Bath County on Saturday when he crashed. The teen, who is from Mount Sterling, is now at UK Hospital in critical condition. WKYT's Victor Puente talked to his parents in our top story at 5.
Aaron Williams has been here at UK Hospital since Saturday. His parents tell me if he's going to recover, they're going to need all the help they can get. Like their son, Chris and Veronica Williams have been at UK's Chandler Hospital ever since he crashed on the way to a homecoming dance.
The past few days has been a horrifying experience for us, but what's helped is the outpouring love of community in this state.
Aaron Williams was on US 60 when he went off the road.
What the state police told us, he just dropped off the shoulder, he overcorrected, and it was raining and it put him in a spin.
Another driver saw him, and Williams says that driver, Daniel Richmond, pulled his son from the burning car. Aaron suffered serious head trauma in the crash.
He's critical condition. It's going to take a touch from the Lord to get him back to where he needs to be.
They're hoping that touch will be helped by the thousands of prayers they've already received.
And then they are asking everybody at 7:30 tonight to light a candle.
Aaron's parents tell me he currently plays for the Bath County basketball team, but used to play for Montgomery County. They say both teams have been here at the hospital offering their support. In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Victor, thank you. That vigil they're talking about is planned for 7:30 tonight at the Winchester First Church of God on Colby Road. But Chris Williams tells us the people have also told him they'll be praying outside his home as well. A young man hurt in a Jessamine County crash that sent several people to the hospital is doing better today. Officials at UK Hospital tell WKYT that Morgan Walker is in fair condition. Walker was in a car that crashed on River Road in Jessamine County Sunday morning. The crash left 5 people with injuries. Walker was the most seriously injured, but we've learned today that his condition is improving.
It is a concerning report. Today, the state auditor announced that more than 3,000 rape kits in Kentucky have never been tested. Some have been in evidence lockers for years. As WKYT's Sean Moody reports, the auditor is now calling for police policy changes to address this massive backlog. It's a story that's new at 5.
In his report on untested rape kits across the state, Auditor Adam Edlin says the state crime lab suffers from a crisis of resources, and he says any politician who doesn't adequately fund the lab can't call themselves tough on crime.
It was fall semester. I was a freshman in college.
Michelle Kuiper says her rapist was caught after he popped up on radar through a DNA match 20 years later.
It stays with you forever.
State Auditor Adam Edlin says there are nearly 3,100 rape victims across the state who are still waiting on their DNA examinations to be tested. He said the average turnaround time from submitting the test to getting results is 8 months.
This is unacceptable.
In a 90-page report, Edlin lists problems and recommendations for agencies across the state. One issue, he said, is that the lab is getting overwhelmed. He said between 2008 and 2012, requests for forensic results had gone up by 35%.
It's because the culture has changed. We have the CSI effect. People watch on television and go serve on juries and expect to see a forensic slam dunk in order to garner a guilty verdict.
The Kentucky State Police recently got a $1.9 million grant to process the kits that are waiting, but Edlin says something has to change.
But if we don't get to the bottom of why the kits were not tested in the first place, we're going to be right back where we were 5 years from now.
Michelle Kuiper hopes to see that number go back to 0.
Whereas these kits aren't just kits. Each one of those kits is a person, and one of them is too many.
In Frankfort, Sean Moody, WKYT.
The auditor found in several cases investigators did not send all the tests to the crime lab. To adequately fund the lab, Edlin said it would cost $3 million to $5 million the first year and $2 million a year from that point. We have a link to the auditor's report online at WKYT.com. You can read his observations and his recommendations to the state.
A death investigation is underway after the body of a 75-year-old was found in a pond early this morning. Our county-by-county coverage begins in Laurel County. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office says an employee of a nearby business found the woman around 9:30 this morning in a pond on Boggs Lane. The victim has been identified as Betty Seiler. Deputies say she lives near the pond. No foul play is suspected. In Clark County, a man has been arrested after police say he bought gifts for 2 children and promised to adopt them. According to the Winchester Sun, 79-year-old Jack Hodgkin was arrested on a warrant for custodial interference. The warrant was filed by the children's mother. In it, she claims that Hodgkin repeatedly purchased toys for her children. She also claims he took her children out to eat without her permission and promised to adopt them and take them to Florida.
Summer season is wrapping up. It looks like the weather's going to stay pretty nice most of this week as we head into fall. Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. Although, Chris, of course, as you said, we need some rain.
We do need the rain. We'll try to at least get a shower or two late weekend of the coming weekend. By no means is that a certainty. If it's going to be dry, might as well be nice. And that's what we've been dealing with over the past few weeks, and that's what we're continuing to deal with as of now. That beautiful sky in Lexington, some blue and some clouds showing up. Farther south and east that we go. Look at all the overcast that continues to be with us here, especially from the I-64 corridor and points south and southeast. Traveling across the Hal Rogers Parkway, Mountain Parkway, southeastern Kentucky. We've got some clouds, but the rain on the other side of the mountains. Getting in on an area of low pressure across parts of Carolina, South Carolina that is. High pressure into New England. Going to be the dominating weather factor over the next several days. A lot of low 70s to mid 70s showing up into much of central and eastern Kentucky out this evening. Absolutely gorgeous. Quick drop in thermometers as the evening wears on. When I come back in about 10 minutes, guys, we're going to watch the eastern sky for the possibility late week of rain kind of going against the grain. We'll have a map to show you what I'm talking about here in just a few minutes.
We will see you then. A new section of a busy Lexington road is now open. Crews put the final touches on the extended Citation Boulevard this morning. The new portion runs from Georgetown Road to Leestown Road. WKYT Sam Smith was there when traffic started moving this afternoon.
The road is open. Workers have completed a new extension of Citation Boulevard that stretches from Leestown Road to Georgetown Road. The road opened a couple of hours ago at 3 o'clock. City and state leaders were out here to cut the ribbon on this new 2.4-mile section of Citation Boulevard, which will provide new access to Interstate 75. This road construction project started in 2013, and it's something folks on the west side of town are happy to see finished. City leaders say the area around the road is expected to be developed now that the road project is completed.
You know, we're standing next to lots of greenfield that is soon to be developed, we hope, into more restaurants, services for residents, dry cleaners, you know, gas stations, banks, that will provide jobs for residents in the area as well as just services, much needed services.
Kentucky Transportation Cabinet officials say there could be some lane closures as crews finish up some minor work on this road. They ask drivers to be cautious out here. In Lexington, Sam Smith, WKYT.
The bulk of the funding, $25 million, came from the state. The city added more than $300,000 in traffic signals.
After a tough loss Saturday night to Florida, no rest for the Wildcats. Unbeaten Missouri heads to town this weekend in another SEC showdown at Commonwealth Stadium. WKYT's Rob Bromley joins us with our Big Blue coverage at 5. Rob?
Well, the Cats will need to shake off that loss to Florida quickly because Missouri is undefeated and coming into Commonwealth Stadium Saturday night. Now, the Florida game was winnable, so it's certainly not easy to take. Mark Stoops doesn't believe his players' confidence will be shaken by the loss.
Nobody's more disappointed than them and myself and the coaching staff. But the good is that we were in position to win that game. We didn't make the plays. That's playing football. Watch the game. You all watch the game. I mean, I have an opportunity. I even watched some pro game last night and everything else. 2 great teams. They didn't play clean. You know, we'll play better. Our players have a good attitude, are working hard, and we're getting better, and we're getting in position to win games.
So the Wildcats can get back on the winning track next weekend, hosting Missouri. Kentucky opening today as a 2.5-point favorite at home. It'll be a 7:30 kickoff on the SEC network. The EKU game, the first week of October, will also start at 7:30. Looking ahead to this weekend, linebacker Ryan Flanagan will be back. He returns from a shoulder injury, and defensive tackle Reggie Ment, who suffered a shoulder injury against Florida, may be able to play, so that's good news.
Rob, thank you. And Kentucky has lost to Missouri all 3 years the Tigers have been in the Southeastern Conference. Pope Francis has another full schedule of events today in Cuba. The spiritual leader of more than 1 billion Catholics is on a 10-day pilgrimage to Cuba and the United States.
This morning, he invited all Cubans to convert to Catholicism. Adriana Diaz has the latest from Havana.
Under a scorching late September sun, Pope Francis celebrated an open-air mass before thousands of followers in the city of Holguín.
Jesus goes before us. He precedes us. He opens the way and invites us to follow him.
The Pope has chosen his words carefully during his 3 days in this communist country. On his arrival, he called for greater freedom for the church. And at his Havana Mass, with Cuban President Raul Castro looking on, he told the crowd to serve one another, not an ideology. But Cuban political analyst Carlos Azugaray doesn't believe the Pope will let politics overshadow his pastoral message.
He won't be, hardline pushing. No, that's not how the church is going to work this.
Francis heads to the U.S. tomorrow for the first time ever. Yesterday, the Vatican released a message from the Holy Father to pilgrims attending the World Meeting of Families.
See you in Philadelphia.
But before he gets there, the Pope will make stops in Washington, D.C. and New York City. The Pope wraps up his Cuba trip tomorrow with another Mass in the city of Santiago and a meeting with Catholic families. Adriana Diaz, CBS News, Havana, Cuba.
Pope Francis has met with Cuban leaders and greeted thousands of the followers, but he has not had any direct contact with Cuban descendants. A mother and boyfriend accused in the murder of the 2-year-old girl known as Baby Doe were in a Boston court today. Bella Bond's body was found in a trash bag on a shoreline in the Boston Harbor in June, but she wasn't identified until last week. The prosecutor says Michael McCarthy, the mother's boyfriend, killed Bella, and her mother Rochelle Bond helped cover it up. Today, a judge ordered McCarthy to be held without bail, and he set it at $1 million for bond.
Firefighters gaining some ground on one of the 2 massive wildfires in California. The Butte Fire is now 70% contained, and all mandatory evacuations are lifted. The fire has been burning for more than 10 days now and destroyed more than 500 homes. It has scorched close to 71,000 acres. Firefighters are also battling the Valley Fire that's similar in size. California is going through a tough fire season, partly because of a drought that's been going on for 4 years.
It is time now for better living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. Research shows most children are not getting the recommended 1 to 2 cups of fruit a day. Jamie Yuka shows us why apples may be a good place for parents to start.
Danielle Kalarjian tries her best to make sure her children eat plenty of fruit.
It's really healthy. It's a really great snack option for them instead of all the stuff that you see that's processed.
A new study in the journal Pediatrics shows apples are the favorite fruit of U.S. kids. Researchers find apples and apple juice make up about 30% of all fruit kids consume.
You want to think about what kids like, so then you can offer that to kids from an early age. The other thing is that we know that kids are more likely to try new foods if they try it with something they like.
Pediatricians say parents should encourage children to eat more whole fruits for bigger health benefits. The study found about 1/3 of fruit came from 100% juice drinks.
You're not getting the fiber that you're getting with eating a whole piece of fruit.
For Danielle, she uses fruit to get her children to eat a well-balanced diet.
Charlie, my daughter, will also eat them dipped in peanut butter, so it's added bonus because they get protein with their apples, which is really great.
Keeping them both healthy and happy.
Because they taste so good.
Jamie Yukas, CBS News, New York.
Researchers at the National Center for Health Statistics looked at more than 3,100 children ages 2 to 19 for that study. Apple is celebrating its most successful iPhone update ever, days before the new version goes on sale. The new operating system, iOS 9, was released last Wednesday, and the company said today more than half of all iPhone users have already updated their phones. That is the fastest rate ever. iOS 9 comes with features like power saving mode, a smarter Siri, and better Apple Maps, and it takes up less less space than the last operating system. Volkswagen shares fell 20% today after U.S. regulators accused the automaker of cheating on environmental standards for their diesel cars. They allege that the automaker programmed cars to only use emission controls when being tested. The EPA says the cars had emissions regularly up to 40 times the legal standard. Volkswagen has halted some sales. The affected cars were all 2009 to 2015 models. Volkswagen lost $18 billion in value after today's crash. The company also owns the Audi and Porsche brands.